This federal holiday, I mean, it's celebrated on the third Monday of February, originally designated to celebrate the birthdays of both our first president, George Washington, of course, and 16th President Abraham Lincoln, but it's kind of expanded.
I think so. These days, it feels like we're using the holiday to honor all of our U.S. presidents. And let's be honest, most of us could use a little brushing up on our American history. Am I right?
That is true. My father would probably ask me questions. He was a history teacher to get through law school, and I'm sure I would fail. But we asked our resident historian, Mike Polk-Jr., to share more on one president who was born and raised right here in Northeast Ohio.
It's President's Day, and those superstar glory hog presidents Lincoln and Washington are monopolizing all the patriotism as usual. Don't get me wrong, well deserved, they were elite. But if today were really supposed to be exclusively about those two overexposed overachievers, they'd call it the elite American President's Day. But they didn't. It's just President's Day. It doesn't discriminate based on quality. So remember to pour one out for Millard Fillmore. And also, don't forget that Ohio was home to 8, count them 8, non-Washington/Lincoln presidents. That's almost 18% of all presidents, despite representing 2% of the U.S. Now, were the Ohio presidents perfect? Of course not. Some had unremarkable terms, some were tarnished by the specter of corruption, and some had their presidency cut short by tragedy. So we'll never know what they might have been able to accomplish in office. One such president was Cleveland's own James A. Garfield, a man whom many historians believe could have been a top-tier prez had he not been shot just 3 months into his presidency. He was, by all accounts, a remarkable person. So I thought, on this President's Day, we'd pay homage to a local boy, James A. Garfield, because his history is all over this town. I'm here in Mentor to learn about America's most Clevelandy president, James A. Garfield. James A. Garfield was born on November 19th, 1831 in Orange Township, which is now Moreland Hills. That's Clevelandy. He was born in poverty, his father died young, and he was raised by his mother. There's his house. Not bad digs. So what room am I in?
So this is the Memorial Library. This is everybody's favorite room in the house. It's aesthetically beautiful, and also this is a very historic room in that this is where the idea for presidential libraries was born.
Really? This is it?
The modern presidential library system actually stems from this small, 2-room library here in Mentor, Ohio.
Did you know that James A. Garfield was not only a student at what would become Hiram College, but he was also the president of that school until leaving for the Civil War. Cleveland connections galore. Garfield joined the Union Army in 1861. He was a huge abolitionist, and he quickly rose to the status of Major General at the age of 31. Very impressive. James A. Garfield did not seek the presidency. He was a compromise candidate when his party could not decide on who to nominate. They went with James. James Garfield was a big supporter of civil rights. He actually appointed several former slaves to positions within his government. Would you do me the honor of introducing yourself, sir?
My name's Tim Garfield. I'm James A. Garfield's great-great-grandson.
Now, you do bear a pretty striking resemblance. I'm sure you hear that all the time. How does that make you feel to look like a guy who's on money?
Feels good to be related to him.
Well, if this little journey didn't convince you that James A. Garfield is an underrated president, I'll give you one more fascinating fact. His favorite food of all time? Squirrel soup. No lie. On behalf of me and America's most Clevelandy president, we're wishing you a very happy President's Day.